Just Joe here, and I've got too many movies. Maybe I should watch one. So it's probably going to be no surprise that I'm going to watch the third Mad Max movie. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, co-starring Tina Turner. Can someone please explain to me how the hell that happened? I mean, look, I'm a Tina Turner fan. I'll admit it. What's love got to do? What's it got to do with it? I still don't know. I still don't know what love's got to do with it. Tina? Tina, will you tell me? You keep asking. Answer the fucking question, Tina! I mean, yeah, it's a weird choice. You know, I mean, I know it was the 80s and she was getting really big in the 80s, but this is an Australian film, so it's like, how the hell, Tina Turner, Australians, how did they go together? Was she really big in Australia? I mean, she was really big everywhere, so, yeah, so, I don't know, still kind of cool. Just weird. But even though that's a little bit distracting, you know, it's the third movie in the Mad Max trilogy. Well, what was the Mad Max trilogy, now it's a quad trilogy with Mad Max Fury Road coming next week. I mean, duh. But if you see my last two reviews, I didn't really care for the first Mad Max movie. I did very much enjoy The Road Warrior, and I am pretty excited to watch this. So, yeah, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I'm excited to find out what the hell a Thunderdome is, what the hell Tina Turner, if she's good in this movie, she's bad, and, you know, I'm gonna go see what this is all about. So, yeah, I'm gonna go see and bye! Okay. So I just got done watching Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I just realized it said Mad Max is... I'm sorry. More coffee's needed. It says Mel Gibson is Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, starring Tina Turner. That's confusing. So wait a minute. Mel Gibson is Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I thought he was just called Mad Max. His full name this entire time was Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome? Why would you wait till the third movie to talk about that? And also starring Tina Turner? I mean, co-starring, or also starring. Mel Gibson, he's the star. Maybe I've had too much coffee. Regardless, I just got done watching Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and man, it was awesome. It was awesome. For the first 40 minutes. And then it basically turned into the movie Hook. I didn't like it after that. I don't like seeing movies that I'm kinda about. Damn it! Damn it, Mad Max! But anyway, let's get into it. As always, I start with the plot / the script. Okay, so the plot of Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome is... It's weird. It probably has the most plot out of, you know, the 3 movies I've watched so far, but that's not really saying much. But basically, this is what the plot is. At the very beginning of the movie, you know, Mad Max, he's wandering. That's what he does. He just freaking wanders all the time. He wanders and wanders and wanders. He just keeps going, going, going. You think the guy would have, you know, invested in a house or something by now. I mean, for God's sakes, I know you lost your family, but, you know, you could build a house. I mean, these people are building cities in this nuclear wasteland. You could build a little hut. Come on, Max, get on it. But anyway, he's basically attacked. I mean, the opening scene is so damn confusing. Like, honestly, and maybe I'm just an idiot, but the opening scene is confusing and I couldn't even follow it within the first 5 minutes, but from what I gathered, because I had to look it up on Wikipedia, he's attacked by this guy who was also in the first movie, but I don't know if he is the exact same guy. I don't think he is. So there's that. But anyway, he's attacked, and like his stuff is stolen, so he makes his way to Bartertown. And Bartertown is kind of run by Tina Turner's character, and well, not really run by her. It's run by this guy, well, this little midget or little person who controls this bigger guy, who's a guy, not a machine, but he controls him somehow, called Master Blaster. Hold on for a second. I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. That dude is not Master Blaster. This is Master Blaster. You fucked up, movie. You fucked up. But anyway, he makes his way to the city, and he's trying to find the guy who, you know, stole all of his shit, and he wants to get it back. So he makes a deal with Tina Turner. If he can help her defeat the Master Blaster guy, you know, they'll give him whatever he wants. They'll help him track down the guy who stole all of his stuff. He'll get all of his stuff back, and he can just keep on wandering because Mad Max just loves to wander. And eventually, he fights the guy in Thunderdome, this big thing. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. You know, that cool stuff. I finally know what that means. And, Max, fights him, but then, kind of goes against what these people believe and breaks the rules, and he's sent off in the desert, left for dead, and then he comes across the Lost Boys. And, the rest of the movie is basically him and this group with it is the Lost Boys from Hook and Peter Pan and that crap. That's basically what it is. It's stolen directly from it. And they were waiting for someone, and they think it's Max, and it's not Max, and it's great. And they eventually go back to Bartertown, and it all ends up in this big chase thing because it's Mad Max, and there you go. That's basically the plot. Ugh, God. Okay, like I said, the first 40 minutes, like when he's in Bartertown and that, he gets there very quickly, is awesome. It had my attention. It was so much fun. And waiting for them to get to the Thunderdome, awesome. What the hell is this called Beyond Thunderdome for? It might as well just be called Mad Max Bartertown or something, or Mad Max The Lost Boys, because I don't understand the title. But regardless of that, the first 40 minutes when before they leave him for dead in the desert, I loved it. But the next, I don't know, almost 80 minutes, oh God. Or not 80 minutes, but like next hour or so, I'm sorry, it was boring. When he comes across the frickin' kids and the frickin' Lost Boys and frickin', I frickin' hated it. It was boring. And there was no good dialogue or really, this is probably the best storytelling out of all 3 movies, and yet I still didn't like it. I think Road Warrior told a much better story, had better dialogue. The chase thing at the end is fun, as always, but it's not very long. And it did not keep my attention. I mean, the script for this, again, it's like the first movie. I got bored, and I didn't like it as much. This is probably the most quotable out of all 3 of the movies. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. What was my other favorite? You break a deal, you spin the wheel. Just cool stuff like that. But regardless, the dialogue in this is minimal. Tina Turner's got some cool stuff to say. Max, once again, really doesn't have much. And there's really no other good side characters and nothing else. And yeah, the script for this, I didn't think it was as good as Road Warrior, and to me, is barely better than the first movie. And also, before I move on, there's a scene with a lot of pigs because the place is somehow the electricity is ran off of the methane from the pig shit. Literally, that's what they explain it as. I don't know how that works, but whatever, it's the apocalypse, it's the future. I guess that's what we're going to. It's gonna be a smelly world. But there are real pigs! There are real pigs everywhere! There's no way they were treated right. They're real squished together, and I felt bad for these pigs. And I eat pigs all the time. I love bacon. I'm eating pigs, and I felt bad for these pigs. Alright, anyway, move on to the cast / the characters. Okay, the cast in this, look, Tina Turner was really good. I actually wish that she was in the movie more. She did a great job. She came off as really cool. Mel Gibson, once again, honestly, frankly, in this one, he played more of Mel Gibson, or he came off more as Riggs from the Lethal Weapon series. Like, I didn't really feel like he was Max, like he was in the Road Warrior, And once again, he's not really mad. It's a weird, and they never call him that. So why is this his nicknames for these movies? Because he's not mad. He doesn't really do much mad. He's actually making me mad by not being mad. Damn it. It's your freaking nickname. My nickname is Just Joe. And I'm Just Joe. It fits. You're not mad. God damn it. But Mel Gibson does fine once again. Tina Turner, I enjoyed her a lot. And it actually made me think, like, what songs of hers do I love? And there's the normal ones, but I forgot. She sang the one of the James Bond songs, GoldenEye. So I downloaded it on my phone. So this movie at least gave me that. So thank you. GoldenEye, found as a grass, GoldenEye, lyrics and that's really it. I mean, the guy comes back from the second movie, and I don't think he's the same character, and he's not in it that much. And there's, you know, the Master Blaster, the little person guy. He wasn't really that good of an actor, but he kind of stands out. All the kid actors were fine. Like, the cast was fine. I can't think of any performances that were really bad. So good. And it's same for the characters. Like, no one really stood out. No one really. Tina Turner did, because she's Tina Turner, and she did a good job, and she had some cool shit to say, and she had, you know, some character development. Max didn't really, not really that interesting in this movie, at least not to me, and same all the side characters, and the Lost Boys, and girls, there were girls in it, shouldn't just call them, you know, whatever, but God, they were just not interesting at all, and didn't really have an interesting backstory, and that was shit. That was pig shit. This movie was very proud of their pig shit. Okay, but last, maybe least, whatever, is the directing, editing, / the music. Okay, the direction is great, as always. George Miller, he co-directed this with somebody else, which I thought was a little odd. But, you know, the direction was good as always. The action scenes were pretty well done. And, you know, everything looked beautiful. The sets in this were magnificent. And the miniature, the models, like the miniature model of nuked over Sydney, Australia, was really cool. Like, that stuff was awesome, as always. Like, the cars and the costumes and the sets, all that was amazing, and came off even more so than even Road Warrior as a post-apocalyptic world, and that was great. And George Miller and his co-director, whose name I don't know, you know, they did a great job. It looked beautiful. You know, the cinematography was great. You know, all that was great as always. And even in the first movie, I love the direction. I just didn't like the movie. Road Warrior was great. Mad Max 3, you know, direction was fantastic. Editing was simple. It was fine, but it was just a bunch of, like, the swipes to get from scene to scene. They did that more than frickin' George Lucas did in the original Star Wars trilogy with the time swipe thing. Like, that's all the editing was, but it was still a lot better edited than the first movie. But at the same time, there were some odd choices, like during the fight scenes and like during the chase scene at the end, just some weird editing choices. I didn't get it, but they worked, I guess. And the music. What the hell was with the music in this movie? It was like really cheery. Tina Turner did a cool music thing at the beginning, like a song. Of course she did. She's Tina Turner. That was cool to open the movie. It actually got me excited for the movie. But the rest of the music, like during the action scenes, were even weird. I didn't get it. It was like the first movie, except there was music really all about in this one, where the first one it was kind of, it was there, then it wasn't. This one there was music really throughout the movie, but I didn't get it. It was a weird soundtrack, odd choices, just real cheery shit. It's a post-apocalyptic world. There's nothing cheery about it. It's like if you play the Fallout games and it's just playing a bunch of really upbeat music the whole time. What the fuck would that? That doesn't fit. And it didn't suck me into the movie, into the atmosphere. So, Okay, so my final thoughts on this is that I'm disappointed about how disappointed I am. Honestly, like, I had heard that people think this is the weakest of the original 3 Mad Max movies, and it is nowhere near as weak as the first movie, in my not so humble opinion. Okay, I enjoyed it more than the first movie, but I'm disappointed in it. I expected more. It's Mel Gibson, it's Tina Turner, it's got these fantastic sets and costumes and post-apocalyptic Australia, and the story just never picks up like it did in Road Warrior. And Road Warrior doesn't have much of a story. This one has more of a story than Road Warrior, yet it doesn't feel like it. You know, they need better side characters. They need a little bit better story and better dialogue, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome doesn't have it. It does in the first 40 minutes. I love the first 40 minutes. I loved it and I was super into it. After that, it completely lost me and I was having a hard time not being on my phone, which I don't do when I watch movies because I love movies, obviously. But this one, I got bored as shit. And to me, that's this movie's greatest sin, was like after the first 40 minutes, it's just boring. And even when the action picks up again towards the end, the last half hour, it wasn't good enough to keep me focused on it. So, to me, I'm just disappointed. So Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome, I give a Just Joe rating, unfortunately, a 3 out of 5. So next week, I'm finally going to finish off, my weeks of reviewing the Mad Max movies with Mad Max Fury Road. That's the one I've been looking forward to the most because of all the critical acclaim it got, all the Oscar nominations, everything. And unfortunately, I never got to see it in theaters, which is the way to really see Mad Max Fury Road. It was made for the theaters, but still, I'm excited. I'm really excited to watch it. And I hope to God I end this, with what hopefully will be my favorite Mad Max movie, because everyone's favorite movie was The Road Warrior, and they said Mad Max Fury Road topped it. So hopefully that's what I'm looking forward to next week. Until then, hopefully you enjoyed this review, and look at in the description below with all the links to my Facebook page, to my Instagram, to my Twitter, to the podcast I'm on. What were we talking about? I'm on it sometimes. And like and subscribe to Apartment B1 Productions. Like this video. Watch all my other shit that I've done with Too Many Movies. And speaking of Too Many Movies, I still have Too Many Movies, so I better get back to it. I'm just Joe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Quiet on the set.